Good morning everyone. So we are the group 9 and we are going to tackle about culture in child development. What is culture? So it is a populations, institutions, ideas, and the way of life that are passed down from parent to child make up what is known as its culture. As such, it encompasses norms of conduct, dress, language, religion, rituals, and the arts. Culture has been referred to as the way of life for an entire society. So, culture also can be defined as all the ways of life, including arts, beliefs, and institutions of a populations that are passed down from generation to generation. Child development. Child development is a dynamic, interactive process. Every child is unique in interacting with the world around them, and what they evoke and receive from others in the environment also shapes how they think and behave. Cultural plays a significant role in shaping a child's development. It influences a child's values, beliefs, behaviors, and identity. Child development describes the changes children experience as they grow older. As children grow physically, they also develop in their knowledge, skills, and behavior. Parents and other adults, such as grandparents and child care providers, play important roles in child's development. The next one is the cultural influences on child development. Cultural background gives children a sense of who they are. The unique cultural influences children respond to from birth, including customs and beliefs around food, artistic expression, language, and religion, affect the way they develop emotionally, socially, physically, and linguistically. Cultural differences in interactions between adults and children also influenced how a child behaves socially. For instance, in Chinese culture, where parents assume much responsibility and authority over children, parents interact with children in a more authoritative manner and demand obedience from their children.
Recognizing cultural influence on child development. Culture has an impact on our development from the time of birth and continues to do as we mature. For instance, culture can have an impact on how children develop their beliefs, language, values, and sense of who they are people as a members of society. Parental influence on child development. The cultural background of parents can affect how their children develop. For instance, cultural norms frequently have an impact on how parents raise their children, including how they discipline and establish boundaries.
Good day, everyone. Again, the parental influences on child development, meaning the cultural background of parents can affect how their kids develop. For instance, cultural norms frequently have an impact on how parents raise their children, including how they discipline and establish boundaries. Meaning, ang atong mga ginikanan na adunay dako na responsibility or rights on how to discipline, on how to raise their children, or sa pagmatuto aron maka-gain og maayo na character or attitude. Mo na siya dako na responsibility sa atong mga ginikanan kung unsaon pagdisiplina ang kita na ilang mga anak aron dili kita mahiagom sa kadautan. So next is the collectivist versus individualistic cultures and parental discipline. What is collectivist culture? Collectivist culture values and rewards the prioritization of community needs over individual needs, as well as generous, kind, collaborative, behavior. On the opposite end of the spectrum, an individualistic culture values and rewards assertiveness and independent actions, stressing the importance of the individual over the group. Now, unsa may kalahian sa collectivist na characteristic or and individualistic. Now, ang individualistic mo na siyang attitude na kung tawag na to is prangkador. Kung unsa ang nakita, kung unsa yung nakita sa iyong duha ka mata, mao po ning gisulti. For example, sa iyang classmate aduna siya nakita na nagpagupit ug aduna siya na nakita na negative na nakita niya sa iyang gupit. So ang buhaton sa usa ka individualistic na tao is kung siya ang negative na iyang nakita, iya pa ning isulti. For example, kapangit sa imong gupit oy. So adunay possibility na katong iyang gisultihan is masakitan. Ug katong individualistic na tao is wala siya pakialam kung nasakitan siya or wala. Now, while ang collectivist na kinaiya is muna siya. Ang collectivist is dili siya makaakon, makasulti bisan naa siya mga negativities na iyang nakita sa usa ka tawo. For example, katong gupit lagi. Gupit. So, aduna siya nakita na negative. Pero unsay buhaton sa usa ka collectivist na tao is unsay yang comment is muna siya. Okay ra man na. Nindot man kaayo, gwapo man kaayo. Mao ni siya ang kinaiya sa usa ka collectivist. Bisan na siya mga negative na iyang nakita sa usa ka tawo, dili siya makaako na masulti para dili kini masakitan. Sabtan. Okay. Parents' cultural influences can impact how they discipline a child behavior. This in turn can affect a child development, particularly in those methods and of discipline differ from the dominant culture and traditions. And parental influence on children social behavior varies by culture. Children learn how to act by interacting with their parents. So, ang makabataan daw, kinahanglan magtuon kung unsaon pag-interact sa atoang mga ginikanan. Communication style in case in point. Children tend to communicate in a style that resembles their parents' way of communicating. Children who communicate based on an individualistic culture model will often tell long, self-focused stories with themes of autonomy and personal preference. Environmental influences on child development. Meaning, environmental influence on child development can include influences from community and culture as well as from individual environmental health hazards, pollutions from the nearby power plant, contaminated water, or lead in the home. In fact, children eat more air, water, and food per pound of body weight, making them more vulnerable to health issues from environmental hazards. The health issues might now show up until later in life, causing difficulty in school, work, and socializations a child exposed to pollutant air. So, ang kabataan daw is very sensitive in terms of mga pollutions. So, dapat nato ang ginikanan adunay responsibility na sa time na ang bata mo gawas kailangan naka secure jud aron dili kini mataptan sa kung sa man mga diseases na naa sa gawas, no, pollutions, no. Moto siya ang meaning sa environmental influence on child development. So
Good day everyone. My topic is media influences on child development. Media influences on child development include movies, TV shows, video games, and other online content. Diverse cultures have different attitudes toward TV and other entertainment media, as well as different abilities to afford access to such media. It can help them understand language, academic, and different types of socio-emotional skills. It teaches and gives a lot of information and knowledge to the children. It helps them groom and become more confident. Cultural diversity includes race, ethnicity, religion, age, gender, disability. The disadvantage of this is because of social media, kids don't get enough sleep at night. Media use also can expose kids to cyberbullying, which has been linked to depression and suicide. The next is careers that incorporate cultural influences on child development. The first one is child life specialist. A child life specialist is a clinically trained to help families work through the development impact of serious injury or illness. Child life specialists advocating for the special needs of children and their families, helping children and their families process and cope with medical situations, providing information, support and guidance to parents and family members, collaborating with the healthcare team to coordinate and manage care. The next one is the mental health counselor. Mental health counselor treat people for issues such as behavioral disorders, substance abuse, anxiety, depressions, and stress. So, if you have this kind of abuse or symptoms such as anxiety, depression, and stress, you can go through the mental health counselor. The next one is the Child Care Center Director. Child Care Center directors build and manage programs for before and after school care, including educational programs and school and social activities. A child care director is the head of a daycare center or preschool. The duties of child care directors are much like the responsibility of school principals. They develop educational programs, plan budgets, and supervise staff. The last one is the social worker. Social worker assists individuals and families on a case-by-case basis, helping them navigate successful situations such as unemployment, illness, and substance abuse. The role of social workers help individuals, groups, and families prevent and cope with problems in their everyday lives. Clinical social workers diagnose and treat mental, behavioral, and emotional problems.
Good day, everyone, and now let's proceed to our topic about the social workers. Social workers are a diverse group of skilled professionals who assist individuals, groups, or communities to restore or enhance their capacity for social functioning. Its approach is to care oriented towards solving problems and promoting positive social change. They also provide counseling to individuals, couples, and families for the development of each and every one of us in the community. And one of its mission is to improve the quality of life for individuals, families, and communities. One of the following, as you can see in the screen, first is a child and family social work. What is child and family social work is? It is focused on assisting children and families, especially those with living situations that put the children at risk or neglect or abuse. For example, guiding children through the adoption process or the foster system, or locating community child care services, especially those children who are orphan. The community, of course, must, especially the DEs in DSWDs, are the group of people in a community that has na may karapatan or dapat na mag-assist or mag-function to bring the orphanage to the orphanage, of course. Second one, excuse me, is a school social work. School social work, it is the social workers provide direct and indirect services to student, families, and school personnel to promote and support student academic and social success. The school social workers are usually employed by the school district or an agency contracted through the school district to provide services, such as the teachers and the principals and everything, anyone in a school employee to take care or provide help student for their development. And now let's proceed to the mental health social works. What is mental health social work? Example of mental health social work is that connecting children who have anxiety or depression with a psychiatrist or support group. Those are the group who are focusing on those student or those individual who have a mental health na need to, or the student or individual who have a special needs, who have anxiety or depression, and who have any special needs such as mga blind, such like that, need nila ng psychiatrist para mag-develop to be a better one someday. Next one is the healthcare and social worker. Those are the group of people or the organization supporting children through a diagnostics hospital.